Hello everyone, this is Mike. One of the most requested items is to show some details on the adapter that I use for my PVS14 night vision coupled to my Nikon P1100 Coolpix, and I also have a Lumix GH6 that I couple it to as well. So I'm going to go through that with you here and show that to you. So let's take a look right here. First, there's my setup. And that's the night vision, and I've just got a 5x multiplier on the end of it, but this is the end that you're going to couple to the camera lens. So what you do is you're going to take this eyepiece off, and then you're going to need to order an adapter. This is called a CINE-NV that you can get at Cold Harbor Supply out of Canada. It's the only place I found. I had to modify this one because, let me put this up here so you can read it. Hopefully you can read that. But I'll put a link down in the description. This came with a piece, a threaded piece that bumped out. And that threaded piece is supposed to be universal for PVS14 night vision scopes. Well, guess what? So I got mine, and of course, it wasn't universal. So I'm going to take this off here, show you kind of, let me get this put on here. So we're going to take this off. This is the piece that you'll take off. This is your eyepiece. I've already taken it apart, but it's just to loosen it. So this is the threaded piece that should come off, and see how it's got the threads on it. Well, that's supposed to be standard, I guess, is 33 to 34 millimeters. That's what you get when you order this. The only size you can pick is this size here, so that which fits onto your camera. So like this one is a 77 millimeter, which fits on the P1100 camera. Okay, so the 77 millimeter is supposed to screw onto the front of the lens. And then this piece that I've modified that bumps out screws onto here. Well, since mine was like 38 millimeters and I couldn't find any kind of an adapter for that, I found a machine shop. And what we did was what he did, he machined that lip off and that thread off. And then I just slide this through. Okay. Now, I added a little O-ring to it. Okay, right here, just to help with the, to tighten it up. But again, depending on your night vision, I mean, they say the standard is that 33 to 34 millimeters. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, guys. I have no way of knowing. All I know for sure is this is how I had to do it to get mine to work. So I just put that O-ring on there. I then take the eyepiece. This is going to be on, this piece here is going to be on your night vision, your PVS14 right now. So take that off, and then if it fits, you know, you'll just screw this one on. I had to do this. So now you're going to take this, and we're going to screw it on. Okay, so you're just replacing the eyepiece with this adapter. Now, what I decided to do, because I was worried about, you don't want to scratch any of the lenses. You don't need to over tighten that. So, but that's nice and tight. And that O-ring allowed that to happen, by the way. Without the O-ring, I really couldn't get it to where I was happy with it. So, if you notice, so I'm going to show you this. Take this lens cover off. You've got to make sure that, you know, this isn't designed to work like this, right? It was made, sorry about that. It was made to not have this on the inside. So I was worried when I screwed that directly on that I'd scratch the lens of the camera. So I just used an adapter, which I needed anyhow. So I bought 2 other adapters. And I got these on Amazon. They were like 10 bucks a piece or something. There's the two adapters. And what I got was a 77, this side, which screws onto here, onto my actually it screws over here. It's a step down. Okay, I got a step down. So I got this. I got a step down. I'm creating an air gap is what I'm creating, just to make sure that I don't scratch that lens. So I put a step down of 77 to 58 millimeter, which, by the way, I need when I hook that up to this camera, the Lumix. That's why I picked that, because that's what I need to hook it up to this camera, because I've got a 58 millimeter thread here. But then I just screw this on, and like I say, I just created a little bit of an air gap there, just to make sure that when I couple this, when I screw this into here, so this camera, this lens, has a thread on the inside, right in here, you know, to put filters on your camera lens or whatever you want to do. So that's what this does. So now you're just going to take this and you're going to screw it on, okay? And that's all there is to it. It's as simple as that. Now, there's a whole bunch of things that you'll learn for focusing. You'll notice that, like on this camera, I've got some tape around the manual focus. You always want to do manual focus, and you got to be careful that you don't adjust it after the fact. So, but again, for this one, for this camera, it's got a 58 millimeter thread on the inside of it, okay? And I just take this guy off. And then you'll see that's my 58 millimeter ring right there. And I can now screw it onto here. So rather than buying, these are expensive. The one out of Canada is like over $100. So rather than buying two of those, you know, 177 that goes down to the 34 and then having to machine it, and then another 158 for this camera, I bought just a cheap adapter so that I could take it from here to here or from here to here. And it ended up working out pretty good for me. So that's all there is to it. You need that Cold Harbor Supply main adapter. You're going to then screw it, you know, remove your eyepiece thread, screw it onto your PVS14. Or if it doesn't fit, I think the only option, like I couldn't find one anywhere else that was in that, like try to find a 38 millimeter to 77 millimeter adapter, and they don't exist, okay? And I couldn't even find a 33 to 77 other than going to the Cold Harbor Supply. So maybe they exist, I just couldn't find them. And so that's how I do it. Hopefully that helps.